Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are resuming the talk series on the Ashtavakra Gita, and we are doing the chapter 1, and this chapter starts with the discussion between the Janaka and Ashtavakra. The whole book is on the discussion between the Janaka as a student and Ashtavakra as a teacher. And this chapter deals with the witnessing consciousness as the self. Now, we analyze the jiva and all that. Here, we go a little bit directly deep into the topic itself, assuming that the student has been already prepared in terms of karma yoga and bhakti yoga and towards jnana yoga, where the mind is receptive to listen to the teaching, and that which uplifts the mind and see that which is beyond the mind, or that which enlivens the mind. And that's what we are talking about, the witnessing consciousness. And the chapter starts with the Janaka's question, the first sloka, and from then on it is a response by the teacher, the Ashtavakra. And Janaka asks fundamentally 3 questions. One is, how can we get this jnanam? So how can we get jnanam without any qualifications? Katham jnanam avapnoti. So without any qualification, if jnanam is specified, that means knowledge. Knowledge is always with qualification. Knowledge of chemistry, knowledge of physics, knowledge of Vedanta also. But here we are not talking about the particular knowledge, and it is the absolute knowledge of the absolute truth. And therefore, no qualifications are required. And therefore, jnanam, katham jnanam avapnoti. How do I get that knowledge? By knowing which there is nothing else more to know. Jnatva naparang jneyam. That means there is nothing beyond to know once you know that. For everything else, in the objective knowledge, there is always something, and that's why we said you become super specialized or smaller and smaller, because there is always something to know even in your own field, narrow field. And the second question that Janaka asks is, Katham mukti bhavishyati? How can we get liberated? So the idea is, are they really different? Jnanam apnoti is getting jnanam itself is the mukti, yet then we should know what's the relation between the liberation and the knowledge itself. And vairagyam cha katham praptam. How do we get dispassion? Vairagyam for what? That which doesn't belong to us, what we think is ours. And therefore, it is disowning what you really doesn't need to own it. That's what is actually vairagyam, we'll see. And the Ashtavakra, the teacher, started teaching right away, and it says this knowledge is the supreme, and you are already that, and because you are not what you think you are. So na prithvi, na jalam, na agnihi, na vayu, na jau, all the panchabhutas you are not. So not only the original panchabhutas, but their products as well, both from the subtle point as well as the gross products as the subtle products. Gross products is the whole world, starting from the gross body. So gross body, annamaya sarira, that comes from the food, sustained by food, and it goes back to become food. So that is conserved, because whatever that matter is conserved, and that which is subtle is not the gross, and therefore subtle is that which the senses cannot measure or cannot perceive, and that is essentially which is made up of thought process, and that includes the mind, intellect, and the memory, and as well as the ego. All are part of the four aspects of the antahkaranam, the inner instruments, and that is also you are not. So in one stroke, he negates both the subtle body as well as the gross body. You are not. But what are you then? Because I am spending whole my life taking this as me. So everyone, if you ask who are you, they will tell pages and pages, starting from the physical body identification. I am this body. So identification with the body, which is a matter which you are not. Because when you say I am this, you are not this. You are a subject and this is an object. So obviously confusion is embedded in the answer. So from the answer we know that he is confused. So therefore everyone start talking about I am this, I am this, I am this, and that itself is a definition of the ahankara. And people will say, you know who I am this and this and this, and pages and pages. So all that ahankara, ego, is nothing but wrong identification with what I am not. So I am not any of that. So what are you? So the teacher goes directly saying you are sakshi. Yesham sakshina matrena chidrupam vidhi. So you know that you are the sakshi, you are the witness. So we analyze what is a witness and what is that which enlivens the bond. And here is chit rupam, you are of the nature of consciousness. And consciousness is, according to Vedanta, is infinite. Because one of the Mahavakyas of Vedanta is Prajnanam Brahma. That means consciousness is Brahman. Brahman means infinite. So infinite is consciousness, and later it shows that existence is infinite, and existent and conscious are not different, because we are talking about a existent consciousness which is existent, which is infinite, and therefore it is infinite consciousness existence, and that is called Satchit, and therefore there is nothing other than consciousness, and therefore there is no other thing for me to identify. So therefore I am Anantam. So Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, and that is the same as Satchit Anandam. So Anantameva Anandam. So that means I am happiness also, and which is infinite. So in all these descriptions of the Brahman, either from the sub point or from the consciousness point or from the infinite point, limitless point, and that is called Satchit Anandam, or you are bliss, or you are that Sakshi. A Sakshi is that part of the total consciousness that as though falling on the local mind is called Sakshi. Just as we give example of sunlight, so that part of sunlight, even though sunlight is not parted, it is infinite as though, and when it falls on the moon, it illumines the moon. When it falls on the Mars, it illumines the Mars. So when you look at the sky in the full moon night, you may see a moon and you may see the planets there, and all are visible only because sunlight is there. Even though I don't see sun, I am seeing the sunlight, but I am not seeing sunlight directly, but it is reflected by the moon and the planets and so on. And the moon and the planets which do not have the luminosity of their own are able to reflect the sunlight, and what I am seeing is actually sunlight, but I am seeing it as moonlight. Therefore, what I see is the moonlight is actually sunlight. Sunlight but reflected. So that part of sunlight that is falling on the moon, we call it a Sakshi. So that part of consciousness which is infinite that is falling on the local mind, getting reflected by the local mind, making in the process a mind as a conscious entity, and therefore the mind exhibiting consciousness, and that mind says, I am this. And therefore it is not knowing that I am part is coming from the conscious part, and this part is coming from the mind or the body, and therefore there are two parts involved in the ego. One is I am part and this part. I am part is coming from pure Sachidananda. This part is coming from the inert, but which is activated by the pure consciousness. So you are not this part, but you have to shift your attention to I am part, and that's what is essentially self-realization is. Self-realization is I am part is there and this part is there. We use it all the time without clearly understanding, and we put an equal there. I am equal to this, but I am not equal to this. I am enlivening this, but I am pure Satchidananda. That is what is to be known. That is the jnanam. So how do I get the jnanam? Is by rejecting what I am not and ascertaining, as using the Vedanta Pramana, that I should have the faith in the statement that I am that infinite Brahman, and only have to shift my understanding at the mind level that I am part is coming from the pure consciousness. That is what essentially also called Viddhi Muktaye. That is moksha, and that is liberation. Liberation is by not identifying myself locally with the small equipments which I am not, but reanalyzing or realizing that I am in fact pure consciousness existent entity, and therefore it being infinite, I am also happiness entity. And this negation of what I am not is continuing in all these slokas from then on, and that's what essentially we will be doing in the sloka 5. And in the previous sloka 4, we did essentially yadi deham prutakrutya chit vishramyata. So you have to leave the identification with both the subtle and gross bodies, and this is the only way you get adhunaiva sukham sukhi santehi bandha muktaha bhavishyati. This is what you want to get liberated. This is a liberation. Liberation is re-identifying yourself what you are. Now we will do sloka 5. Natvam vipradiko varnaha Natvam vipradiko varnaha Nasrameenaksha gocharaha Nasrameenaksha gocharaha Asangosi nirakaraha Asangosi nirakaraha Visvasakshi sukhi bhava Visvasakshi sukhi bhava. And here is going one more step here. Natvam vipradiko varnaha. You are not vipradiko varna. You are not I am a Brahmin, I am a Vaisya, I am a Kshatriya, I am a Sudra. Identification with any caste, you are not. The body may belong to, or the identification with the body may be you are born in a Brahmin family, therefore you are Brahmin, or from the point of the correct understanding, you are born with the Sattvic guna, therefore you are a Brahmin. Or that kind of classification is only at the lower level, because only at the Prakriti level, which is Prakriti's Trigunatmikam, that means Sattva, Rajas, Tamo gunas, and Prakriti is Mayanta Prakritim Vidyat. All the Maya is nothing but Prakriti itself, and Prakriti is Prakashena Kritayogyatva. That means specially designed according to your need is what the body, mind and intellect are. All becomes a part of the Prakriti. One is subtle, another is a gross. So he says, Natvam vipradiko varnaha. So vipradikaha. So vipra, that means the caste and everything else that you identify with, all the guna varna, all the descriptions of that you are not. So I am, whatever the qualifications, it comes from the how you identify at the mental level, or the physical level, or the intellectual level. And so, na tvam, you are not that. So stop identifying with yourself with that. Na varnaha, na ashrami, na akshagocharaha, na ashrami. So you do not belong to, oh, I am a brahmachari, I am a grihastha, I am a sannyasa. All these identifications with the ashrama, you are not. You can say, I am an engineer, I am a doctor, I am a scientist. All those identifications only for at the transactional level. There is nothing wrong at the transaction level, you have to identify, but from the absolute point, you are not. So, na varnaha, na ashrami, na akshagocharaha. Whatever that you see, you are not. So, akshagochara means whatever you perceive, you are not. And whatever that can be, you are come under these five senses, sabda, sparsa, rupa, rasa, gandha. All those five identifications that you contract with the world. So world is there as long as these five senses are working, and whatever you see cannot be you, because seer is different from a seen. Do you see what I am talking about? So whatever you understand, you are not. Those who understand it not, because I am not what I understand. I am something because of which understanding also takes place. So that's essentially you're talking about na akshagocharaha. This, the asangaha, see, you are untouched. Untouched means no connection to anything, means I am a husband, I am a son, I am a father. All those relationships only at transactional level, and you have to transact in the world with relationships. Because whenever you are transacting with something other than with your body, mind, intellect. At that time, the identification is required as needed, but understanding wise, I am only transacting for the purpose of transaction, but I am not. Therefore, asangaha asi and nirakaraha. I am without any akara. That means I have no form. So only form is a finite one. That which is infinite cannot have any form. So the conceptualization is also a kind of a limited form within the concept, thought, and limited by other thought. And that is also akara. So here no description can be done. So nirakaraha. So it's only a negative description of negation of what you are not in order to assign what you are. And what your true nature is, Brahmatas, the Vishwasakshi. You are the witnessing consciousness of even the whole world. So the whole world exists and you can see because of you. The existence of an object is established by the knowledge of its existence. To make it more clear, says, is there a chair there? With the chair there, unless I see, I cannot say the chair there or not. If I don't see it, whether the chair may be there or may not be there, so it is indeterminate problem. So existence or even non-existence of a chair is established only when I can see. I see there is a chair or I see there is no chair. Either way, the presence or absence of an object is established because I can see or I can know. So without me present, the existence of the object cannot be established. It may be there, it may not be there, and it can be indeterminate. And that's what happens in the deep sleep state, where the whole world is not seen. Therefore, existence of the world is indeterminate, anirvachaniyam. That means whether it may exist, it may not exist. As far as I am concerned, since I don't see it, I see there is no world. I don't see time, there is no time. I don't see space, there is no space. From my reference, there is not. From the absolute point, we cannot say, because without me, absolute cannot be established. Whereas my presence is independent of any existence of anything else. Because even the whole world can say I am not there, but I know I am there. Therefore, I am Viswasatchi. So, I am not only the witnessing my own mind and intellect, I am the Satchi of the whole world itself. Without me, existence cannot be established. Therefore, my existence in a way forms the basis for the existence of anything else. Some people ask, how come other people can see? But even the other people's existence I have to see first. For if I don't see them, there is no other people also. So when I am in the deep sleep state, there is no other person also. So when there are no space and time, no other world, no other people, so from my reference, no world of perception is there. So therefore, I am Viswasatchi. So what do I gain by knowing all that? Sukhi Bhava. That means I am, whenever I recognize myself, I am nothing of this. Therefore, my nature is pure consciousness, which is, according to Vedanta, is limitless, and that itself is limitless, therefore it is a bliss. Bliss, the suffering comes only because of limitations, because I don't have this, therefore I am suffering. If I have everything in the world, then there is nothing really I need it. I am self-contented. So therefore, Sukhi Bhava. So that is moksham, that is happiness, that is bliss that I am longing for, and that's what essentially in that. There is a similar sloka in the Viveka Chudamani that we can remember. It says, Jati Niti Kula Gotra Doragam Nama Rupa Guna Dosha Varjitam Desha Kala Vishayati Vartiyat Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatman. So Brahma Tattva means Asi Bhavayatman. It says Jati, Niti, Kula, Gotram is none of that. Jati, Niti, Kula, Gotra, Doragam, you are far away from any of those. And any of that objectification is not there. And Brahma Tattvamasi. So Nama, Rupa, Guna, Dosha, Varjitam, Namam, Rupam, Gosham, Nirakaram, Nirakaram. Therefore, there is no Akaram. Therefore, there is no Rupam. Therefore, there is no form, name also. And therefore, Guna qualities. Therefore, there is no Dosham or attributes of any kind. Desha Kala Vishayati Vartiyat. Desham, Kala, Visham, everything else is gone. And you are really Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. So Atmani, in the mind, recognize that you are Brahman, because the confusion is in the mind, not in the Sakshi. Sakshi is being infinite consciousness, he doesn't have any problem. It's local mind that identifies that I am only this local mind. The consciousness that I am is local, coming from the local mind. It's like the luminosity exhibited by the moon thinks that I am only a moon light. It has recognized that consciousness or luminosity is coming from the sunlight. This is the same education for the moon. Same mind is, in fact, the moon is a presiding deity of the mind too. We go on to the next sloka. Dharma dharmo sukham dukkham. So the Ashtavakra continues in the 6th sloka. Dharma dharmo sukham dukkham manasani nate vibho manasani nate vibho na kartasi na bhoktasi na kartasi na bhoktasi muktayevasi sarvada muktayevasi sarvada. So dharma adharma sukham dukkham. So and manasani nate vibhu. Oh, you are not of any of this. So neither dharma belongs to you nor adharma belongs to you. So dharmam, adharmam and all other gradations all belong to only Prakriti, and Prakriti itself is Trigunatmikam. So guna, dharma, all those things are from the point of absolute. You are beyond all the dualities, and here the two dualities are pointed out: dharmam, adharmam, sukham, dukkham. So neither you are sukham nor you are dukkham. That means neither pleasures and pains. So body may pain, the Jnani's body may pain, the mind may be suffering, and all the limitations, but they are belong to the Prakriti. And as long as you are living in the body, the mind will be feeling, and that's why it is the pain is in the mind. When the mind goes to sleep, there is no pain at the body level or mind level because the mind has gone to sleep. People take sleeping pills in order to transcend the sukham. Obviously, they don't belong to you. So, dharma, adharma belongs at the transactional level, and as long as you are living in this world, you have to follow and dharma, adharma and all that. Sukham, dukkham, manasani, they belong to the mind only. Nate vibho, and not for you. And here Janaka addresses Janaka as, oh vibho. Vibho means all-pervading one. You are in fact pure Satchidananda, but don't unnecessarily identify yourself what you are not and then suffer all this life after life after life. So the question is only de-identification with what you are not, claiming what you are is the essence of Vedanta. So, na kartasi na bhoktasi, neither you are a doer nor an enjoyer. So all the doing and enjoying belongs to the Prakriti only. So karma, philosophy, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, upasana yoga, all are at the level of transactional reality, but you are beyond the yoga itself. Na yogena na sankhena karmana nona vijjaya brahmatmaikatva bodhena moksha siddhati na anyatha. So in the Viveka Chudamani, it says, Shankaracharya says, na yogena na sankhena, no, not yoga by or by sankhya, by knowledge. What is there today? You are already pure, you are already liberated. You take yourself what you are not and then suffer the consequence. So wake up. So that is real waking up and re-identification of or reclaiming what your true nature and discarding by your false nature. And therefore you are not a karta, you are not the doer, na bhokta, you are not an enjoyer. Only a doer wants to enjoy, and he does to enjoy. And when the enjoyment comes, also a bondage comes because you depend on something other than yourself for your enjoyment. But when you are enjoying yourself, there is nothing else. It's not action, it's an understanding. Says that I am already full. If that understanding, when you transact it, there is no question of action. It is clear, abiding in your own truth. And that's what essentially the Ashtavakra says. Go to next sloka. Eko drushtasi sarvasya, eko drushtasi sarvasya, mukta prayosi sarvada, mukta prayosi sarvada, ayame vahi te bandha, ayame vahi te bandha, drashtaram pasya sitaram, drashtaram pasya sitaram. So together, eko drashtasi sarvasya, mukta prayosi sarvada, ayame vahite bandha, drashtaram pasya sitaram. So ekaha drashtaha, ekaha drashtaha. There is only one seer. Here it says drashta, ekaha drashta, asi. There is only, and you are that one seer. Don't say the other people. It says Yagajiva Vada you can talk about. It says you are only one seer, sarvasya of all, mukta prayaha, and you are already free, and asi. Therefore, there is nothing to gain, nothing to liberation. Liberation is nothing but what do I have to do for moksha? You are asking. Nothing to do. Understand clearly, you are already free, you are already liberated, and sarvasya muktaha. All the time you are liberated. There is no question of gaining moksha. It is understanding, jnanameva, that clear understanding itself is liberation. Because he asked two questions: how do I get knowledge and how do I get liberation? There is no question of looking for liberation. Understanding itself liberates you from problems. So you recognize that you are only seer, and that's called sakshi. So sarvasya mukta prayo sarvada. So sarvada mukta praya, you are always free and eternally free, but you have to claim your freedom by de-identification with what you are not. So sarvada, all the time, ever. So ayam eva hi te bandha. So this itself your bondage. There is no question of how do I get rid of the bondage. This is the bondage. What's the bondage? The identification yourself that you are this is the bondage. Thinking that this is different and other mind is different, other seers are different, and there are many seers, and so on and so forth. All that is bondage only. So ayam eva hi te bandha. This itself is your bondage. Drashtaram pasyasi itaram. So what is the bandha? Drashtaram pasyasi. So seeing that drashtaram, the seer is many. Drashtaram, there are many seers, and there is other seers are there, itself is a problem. You cannot see yourself. You can know yourself because you are infinite, and seeing yourself is self-realization, realization that I am in fact infinite, and that itself is the moksha itself. So essentially reinforcing that. So what should I do? I do sloka hai. Aham karte chaham mana. Aham karte chaham mana. Mahakrishna hidam sitaha. Mahakrishna hidam sitaha. Naham karteti vishvasa. Naham karteti vishvasa. Amrutam pitva sukhi bhava. Amrutam pitva sukhi bhava. Together. Aham kartechaham mana. Mahakrishna hidam sitaham. Aham karteti vishvasa. Amrutam pitva sukhi bhava. So aham karta iti. I am a doer. Aham mana. So ahankara. Aham mana is notion that I am this and this and this. That ahankara, that ego, is Mahakrishna. That is Mahakrishna ahi. This is the great black snake that is biting you. Mahakrishna ahi idam amsitaha. So it is bitten by the great blacks, the snake, that is most poisonous snake. So that snake is nothing but this ahankara. So ahankara is binding people. It's like a snake. In fact, it's an invisible snake. So aham, that contributes to aham karteti visvasa. So I am karta. I am a doer, and therefore I am an enjoyer, and therefore vasanas will come as a result of kartrutva bhavam, and therefore bhoktrutva bhavam, therefore dependence on the world, therefore the maya, all that is 9 yards will come, and that's because of aham karta iti visvasa. This is the being has to be removed, and visvasa amrutam, nectar of faith, has to be pitva, drinking, sukhi bhava. So you have to reanalyze yourself, re-understand yourself, what's your true nature, and that is because you are pure consciousness, witnessing consciousness, not only of this body, mind, intellect, the whole world itself. That recognition is the liberation, that recognition is realization, that recognition is getting rid of the bondage. With this, we'll stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.